Hi, thank you for watching The Royal We. My name is Kevin, and narcissistic abuse isn't about just listening to one person's stories and instructions on how to deal with narcissistic abuse. Narcissistic abuse and actually healing comes from the understanding that this is a very real evil that exists in the world, and it affects thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people, and that you're not alone. You belong to a community of people who are striving and working to heal themselves from this evil, abusive nature that we see that exists out there. That's why in this segment right now, I'm going to go straight to a phone call, and we're going to listen to somebody else talk about what they're going through and see if we can offer some helpful solutions to their current situation. So let's go ahead and go to a phone call right now. I can hear you. Thank you for being on The Royal We. And this is Kevin. And how are you doing?
I'm doing fine today, thank you.
That's good to hear. What's a little bit about your background? What's going on with you?
My husband and I have been married for almost 3 years, together for over 5, and the relationship has always been pretty chaotic and tumultuous. He's an active alcoholic, and I have recently been attending Al-Anon. And I've acknowledged that through Al-Anon, I've been an enabler to him and also codependent. But we did also have, very many happy and wonderful times together over the years.
Right.
But he has what I call them episodes where he'll leave and then he'll ghost me for weeks, sometimes even a few months. And so the most recent was this past October. And he said, I need to take a month away to get my head together, that he was going to stay at his brother's, and that we could still date.
Wow.
But however, he never went to his brother's. What he did was rent a house that's nearby for $1,500 a month, and he had a girl move in with him, which I didn't know anything about at first. And he continued to see me the whole time up until last Sunday.
Right.
So,
now,
yeah, and go ahead.
Well, these types of stories are heartbreaking. And are you in the process of going through? You are separated, obviously. Is that correct? You're separated.
That's correct.
So you're not seeing him right now at all.
No, up until last Sunday I was though. Up until last Sunday, because he would send these love bomb emails and, kind of hoover me back in. And he and I have a lot of financial things together, ties together. So
Right.
he would say he was coming over and he would say he would give me money, although that wouldn't happen. And then he would walk around the house and say he's moving back and he's going to remodel this and paint that. And I believed him, and foolishly, but
Right.
and then. So I would put the pieces together through like phone records and stuff, and I figured out about the other girl. And he would come over and stay with me, and then the minute he would leave, he would change his Facebook status to in a relationship with her, or now he has in a civil union with her.
With another person?
And then, no, the same girl.
Yeah.
But and then the most hurtful thing was for Valentine's Day, 2 days after he was with me, he filed for a limited divorce, which in Maryland is nothing more than a separation agreement.
Okay.
Although I haven't been served the papers, and he still denies the girlfriend to my face.
Okay.
So that's kind of where we are right now.
You obviously know this is a very toxic and unhealthy situation for you to be in. And being that you're married, you have every right and you have the grounds for a divorce. Adultery, infidelity in marriage is grounds for that, right? Now, at the very least, obviously, you're doing the right thing by going no contact and by not engaging with them. And I know it's so difficult because they can come back, and it sounds like he's coming back, he's love bombing, he's hoovering, and there's a part of you, I can tell, that is open to that. And there's a part of you that still wants that relationship, that marriage, and there's a lot of reasons for that, I'm sure. The fact that you're married, you want to do everything you can to make sure the marriage works. That's a normal thing for normal people, right? They want to make sure the marriage works. Also, you remember the good times. I heard you say that you had good times, and I'm sure they were really good
Right.
times. And the love bombing,
And
can sometimes
took
feel
my
like it's
marriage-
unbeatable,
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I took my vows very seriously.
Right. I know you
I
did.
really did.
I know you did. I know you did. And I know that you've done everything you can to be a solid foundation for the marriage. And I can tell that. And I can tell that you are just a beautiful, charming, amazing person, and you don't deserve what you've been going through, right? The reality and
Right,
what we don't like to realize is that the reality is that your husband at this time he is who he is. That's not going to change. And once that ball has been set into motion by him, his running around, getting with other girls, and it's abusive to you, the lying and all this and that, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop because you are trying to get it to stop. It's not going to. The only thing that could ever stop him is going to be himself, if he ever wants to. But it's very difficult. And a lot of times in a lot of these cases, the more you try to get it to stop, the worse it's going to get, right?
Right.
And
yes, and I've been realizing that.
And now, are you going no contact right now?
Well, the only, yes, but really he's the one that went no contact in that he blocked all of my numbers, and I did contact him about 3 days ago just for a business matter, and it was a 3-minute conversation and business only, so that was that.
Narcissistically abusive people do no contact for a different reason. When they go no contact, it's to it's the silent treatment. It's their way of trying to keep you in a place where you're longing for them, and for the most part, it works. It puts you into confusion, especially when it's after love bombing, or if he just comes over and has a night of sex or whatever with you, and wants to be lovey-dovey and be your husband and act like that, but then he creates this distance by blocking you, by not calling you or whatever. It's to play a game. It's because he figured out that with you it works, right? So no contact on your part has to be for a different reason. It has to be you don't want to play these games. You're done. No contact is serious. No contact means that you're no longer going to engage with him because it's hurting you emotionally, because you're done hurting, because you know you deserve better, right? There's better for you out there.
Right.
You're more than just a warm body for a man who calls himself his husband to come every now and then and have sex with. You're not a mistress. This is supposed to be your husband, right? And so you have to go no contact because you don't want to hurt like that, and you don't want to be used.
Right. He's making me feel like the other woman.
Exactly. That's what I get out of so far what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. He comes over here wearing his wedding ring, and the minute he walks out the door, he takes it off and sticks it in the glove box.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And now,
go ahead.
This experience, and I know it's painful, and I know a lot of people don't understand how difficult it is to actually go no contact. It seems like it's one of these things where every time he comes back, you think there's going to be a chance, or you think it's going to be different. So, what you need to realize is that, one, it's not ever going to be different. When we deal with narcissistically abusive people, and I know I talked about this in one of my videos towards the end of it, it's that, we're not qualified to understand their inner wiring. Something happened to them at some point in life that caused them to be and act out in ways that they do, right? And just like many of us aren't qualified to fix a broken phone, we're not qualified to fix the broken pieces inside these people's lives. We have to be able to forgive ourselves, and you have to be able to forgive yourself for opening up in the beginning of this marriage, for allowing this guy in your life, right? Because sometimes we can be filled with some guilt because we started off the relationship in a way we knew maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we got involved sexually too early, or maybe we took the love bombing on and we just gave ourselves over super fast. And We have to be able to understand that, this is how we get wrapped up in this evil, is we kind of get seduced off of the path that we're on in life because they're so charming, because they can come across as so seductive. And when we're not yet understanding of the red flags, it's easy just to get off our path and be seduced. And then we're really hurt. And it sounds like you're going through a lot of pain right now through all of this, and rightfully so.
Yes.
Rightfully so.
Yes.
But I want to tell you what, the honest truth is no, you do not have to stay in the marriage at this point. There's nothing that says, in fact, as far as marriage is concerned, continuous adulterous affairs breaks the bonding laws of marriage. It severs it. It's defiling the marriage bed. It severs it, right? And so you would have every justification you would need to go through with your separation. At the very least, you should stay separated and go no contact.
So,
yeah.
Should I wait for him to serve these papers, or what? I mean,
chances are, being a narcissistically abusive person, he's not going to. A lot of times these people will just kind of be out of sight, out of mind. He's perfectly happy going and being with other women and then also coming back and sleeping with you or hoovering you or at some point even maybe tormenting you or blaming you for whatever went wrong, right? So this is a question of...
Yeah, he blames me. Yeah.
Right, when that's typical.
Blames me.
That's typical. Mm-hmm. So this is a question of how do you want to go forward? You can yourself go ahead and get an attorney, and I would stay out of it as far as talking to him. I would let attorneys deal with it. Tell the attorneys what's going on. There's affairs going on. It's irreconcilable differences or however that works. Let the attorneys deal with it and walk you through that paper process if that's the way you want to go. Or the other option would be to wait around and see what he's going to do. But how much of your life now are you going to be missing out on if you do that? Because you could be, learning to love yourself again and love other people, and have that freedom. Because as long as you're attached to the narcissist, you lose that freedom. It's very hard to have freedom. You in the back of your mind, you have that bond of marriage going on. So that's really a question. I can't tell you what to do there. That's a question of, do you want the freedom? Do you want to end it and heal the wounds, which it's going to take a long time to heal. You're going to hurt for a long time, and that's okay. And you can contact me or contact anybody to talk about that. But make that decision if you want to cut it in the marriage, get the divorce done, and start the healing process now, or if you're okay with dragging it out and just kind of waiting and seeing what happens. I'll tell you what, one of the issues that I find about myself and perhaps you too, especially as codependents, is we have a very difficult time kind of putting our foot down and making these decisions for ourselves. We tend to want to wait and just kind of see what happens. And what we're learning in life, especially with narcissistic abuse, it's opening our eyes to the reality that, no, it's a pretty nasty world, right? And we have to make decisions for ourselves. Sometimes it's going to hurt other people, but we have to make these decisions if it's going to protect our mental, emotional, physical health. So this is going to be one of those decisions you're going to have to make. All right?
I've actually been attending a divorce support group through a local church.
Very good.
That's been very helpful.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's been very helpful. And it doesn't say make the decision now or whatever, but it gives you, it walks you through the processes and all the stages. So it is very helpful.
That sounds so good to me. I'm so happy that you're doing that. I often recommend going to a church group. Celebrate Recovery is a great program that's out there that I have been a sponsor in myself, and I've been through some of those steps. So these programs are great because a lot of them have rules, and you're able to go and share, and you're within these rules and boundaries of how you share and get help. And so that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And I encourage you to keep going to those groups. Keep talking about what's going on. Don't be afraid to talk about it. I know you can't talk to the narcissistically abusive person. You have to get rid of any idea that you can talk and rationalize. And
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. You'll always be blamed. It's always going to be, you don't want any of that. So, well, thank you for calling. I hope that I was able to to help out a little bit. And I know that you and your story and what you're going through is is going to help a lot of people who are watching this right now.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, and I keep making those videos. I watch them all the time. They're very helpful.
Right on.
And I share them with other people, too.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot, and thank you. We'll keep in touch, okay?
It's cold out here and things get a little fogged up. I really hope that you liked the video that I shared, and guys, if you do, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date with all the latest material that I'm going to put out. Also, take advantage of the fact that I leave my telephone number right there for you to contact me. Now, I am working on a course, and in time the course will be available, and I hope to become more of a life coach and be able to help you through and walk you through the process of healing even more than I am right now. So, but until that time comes, take advantage of the fact the phone number is there. I do my best to answer each and every one of your phone calls, and I appreciate your comments. I appreciate all of your tips that would help me to better help you. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the Royal We and for sharing this journey with me.